Hello and welcome to the first in a series of reviews by the Fanatics. You may realize that my friend isn't here to do the video with me because she's grounded, so I guess I'm going solo on this one. My name is Hannah, and the fanfic I'm reviewing today is entitled A Little Night Music by user Salem the Cruel from Redwall Wiki. ALNM, or A Little Night Music, is like an alternate ending to The Sable Queen by Brian Jacques. In the review, I will be going back and forth to compare the two. The first comparison will be between the main antagonist, Valea the Sable Queen. Valea, in Brian Jacques' book, is kind of boring. She doesn't really have a backstory. She's just kind of there as a war lady. And she doesn't do much. She sits in the hideout and just kind of gives people orders. And it's not till the end when she actually fights, and that doesn't go so well because she loses. But in A Little Night Music, instead of her dying, she actually is found by a wildcat named Isaac. And Isaac comes to take care of her and helps heal her. And when she's healed, she goes to fulfill her revenge on the Redwallers who caused her major downfall. So, the story goes on, and you see a lot more of her backstory, like who she's related to and how her family was growing up. And her family is the Skeleton family, which is a very large, prestigious, noble family of sables. Sable is sort of like a weasel, but it looks more like a ferret, and it's really dark colored. So, that's what a sable is. In the story, you meet people who did have a great impact on her life, like her ex-husband Gideon. She goes back to him, and you can tell he's afraid of her. You also learn that she actually had a few children, but she never liked them or wanted them in the first place. So they all ended up dead. Considering that the Valea ALM has a lot more backstory, I think I like her a lot better because you can really relate more to her instead of in the Sable Queen when you can't really relate at all because you don't know where she came from or why she's attacking Redwall. The next comparison I'll try to make is how Zwilt, which is the secondary character in the book, compares. In the book, he is more of the villain role than Valea actually does, even though her name is in the title, but Brian Jacques' idea, not mine. Anyways, in ALNM, he actually doesn't play that big of a role, except that you find that he and Valea were once lovers, and he killed his unborn son. In the story by Salem, Valea is followed by a wildcat named Jangus, and Jangus has this huge crush on her, but Valea is not really interested. So he's more like an annoying pest that just keeps following her and won't go away. He plays a pretty big role in the story as far as being the love interest, and I know it's weird being two different kinds of species, but it works. Not all the animals in ALNM are vermin. There's actually some good beasts in there too. Like an otter named Sean that comes in later in the story, but he does play a really big role later on. I won't tell you how because that would ruin the story. But he's really interesting because he sneaks into Valea's army disguised as a weasel, and pretty much is a spy for all the good beasts. I won't go any further because that would just give everything away. But in the end, it all. So in actuality, you learn more about Valea and how it is to be a war lady and how crazy you can go. It's kind of like she's losing her mental abilities as you read through the story, and it's kind of interesting to go that deep within a character because you don't always see that, and it's really cool. I wish I would see more of that often in stuff that I read, but unfortunately I don't. I think Salem is a very good writer. The details are great, the story is great, the plot is really different and really cool, and I don't think it could be any better except for, spelling errors, which we all do, especially me, I know. Oh, God, I love spelling. But all in all, it's a very good story. I would definitely recommend it, and I really hope you get a chance to read it. This story can be found on Breadwell Wiki under Salem the Cruel, under her blog page. She has a few other stories I would recommend checking out. They're pretty good too, and I might review them later. Bye!